Oh, man, it has been a little bit since I have been on here. My desk is an absolute mess. We've been to Ohio, and last week we had soccer camp, and so my gear is all over the place. And I have quite the story. This happened to my camera lens, and I don't remember how it happened. So, I don't remember how I did this. I broke my nice Polar Pro ND filter, as well as my very nice 16 to 35 G Master lens. And I don't remember how I did it because I had an accident on my one wheel and I got knocked out, which is kind of crazy to think about. It was not, I believe, as bad as it sounds. You know, I've seen a lot of crazy wrecks, at least on YouTube, from one wheels, and it was nothing like that. If anything, I was very cautious, and I wasn't going extremely fast, though I don't remember all of the details. What I do remember is I was on the road headed out towards the dikes. It's just right over here. And as I was driving or riding out there, had my helmet on, wasn't going too fast. I don't really like to go super fast with my one wheel. I'm just kind of cautious like that. So I wasn't going super fast, but the sidewalk ran out, and so I was on the road, and I was going to duck into this driveway just to get off the road because I don't like to ride necessarily on the road. It's a little busier out that direction. Traffic goes a little faster than what it is in town. So I was going to duck into this driveway. However, this driveway had a speed bump kind of system on the front of it that was, I think, preventing rainwater or drainage to get into the driveway and down to the houses. It was kind of on a slant. But it was a very crude speed bump, so it wasn't like a nice natural curve. It was pretty abrupt and rough, and I only going back to the place where I biffed it, do I kind of have that image, that thought that I remember seeing that, and I tried to just traverse that going parallel with the speed bump. It's always good to go over obstacles like at a 90, like a cross, rather than going alongside of it and trying to go over it. So as best as I can tell, I hit that speed bump and it threw me. I had a nice little bump on my chin. My jaw was really sore, so I must have hit my chin pretty hard. And then there was some scrapes on my helmet as well where I hit. But it was only, and I don't know how long I was knocked out. It was a little bit of a time. Luckily, a family friend saw me knocked out on the ground, drove back, and some people helped me up and called my wife, and she came and got me and went to the hospital, did all of that stuff, was confused, different things like that. But ultimately, it was just a slight concussion and a contusion on my knee. It's still a little funky, but it doesn't. It's not bad. No permanent damage or any serious damage. Kind of crazy to go through that whole experience and not remember, something as kind of serious as that was. And so I'm very grateful, very thankful that it wasn't any more serious. I definitely will not be going over speed bumps anytime soon, or being just very cautious and aware of the surfaces that I'm riding on. It was a very expensive lesson to learn as well. If any of you know, lenses are not cheap, nor are the ND filters from Polar Pro. So that was the unfortunate side of that for sure. However, my camera is okay, which is a big blessing. That could have been a disaster had it been my camera and lens. So I think my lesson learned, and maybe my lesson for all of you, is be cautious. Always wear your helmet. It could have been way worse had I not had my helmet on. And then just be extra cautious. There's a lot of these vehicles coming out: skateboards, scooters, bikes, one wheels. I mean, just all of these gadgets and things that are super fun, but they have a risk as well. And so just be cautious. I know I'm going to continue to be cautious. So I wanted to share my story, kind of crazy, and hope that you guys stay safe out there. Always use caution and make safety a big thing. So, I had to run today at night because it was like 90 degrees out here today, or even a little hotter. And just wanted to get a run in. And but I just wanted to add, after telling my story, going through things like that definitely gets your attention a little. I think we all know that life is fragile and our health is fragile, and all of those things. And yet when something like that happens, in a moment, and on top of that, you can't really even remember what happened. All of that can leave you a lot to think about, and just about how if you were to not be here tomorrow, and in scripture we're told that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And yet I think so often we take that for granted, that we kind of live life assuming that we're going to have tomorrow, that we're going to have the next day, we're going to live until we're 80, 90, 100 years old. And yet I think we all know life is fragile. And so I say all that because it really made me kind of reevaluate and think about those things. Not that a whole lot has changed since then, but it does get you to stop and ponder. And so maybe you're in that stage of life where you're taking a lot of things for granted, that you'll just have tomorrow and the next day with your family, or at work, or doing the things that you love. Just ponder the fact that we're not guaranteed all of those things, and so to enjoy everything in the moment, and enjoy the things that you are blessed with today. That was one random thought. My other thought is not nearly as profound, a little more just casual observation. It really stinks to get old. Like, now things take a while to recover from. Even not just my one wheel, though that took a little bit. Obviously, the concussion things and things like that. But just a little sore. Obviously my my jaw and things like that. But just to do things that I love to do: running, playing basketball, other things like that. It just hurts a little more, and I have to spend a little more time recovering. And I guess that's just life. So here's to getting old. All right.